Alrick Show.
Just like your physical health, your mental health is also very, very important. Mental health advocate and fitness guru Patrice J. White is here with us. Patrice, how are you doing?
Thanks for having me, Alrick.
How are you feeling now in this moment? You did a marathon this morning.
No, I run a short mile.
A short one.
10 miles.
10 miles, just a short 10 miles.
Just a short 10 miles.
How are you feeling? How do you feel when you do something like that?
Relieved, good, ready to tackle whatever it is that the day throws at me.
Patrice, how do you get up every day and do this? Because it's like passion takes discipline, yes?
Yes, it does. It drives discipline. It drives.
How do you do that? How do you get up every morning and do that? Because I can hardly get out of bed.
Well, in the initial stage, I had to add a why. Why it is that I'm getting up religiously every morning at 1 o'clock, 1:30 to get out there on the road at 2 a.m. to start running. Mm-hmm. But now it's a part of my lifestyle. It is who I am. It is my brand. So outside of my studio itself, the gym, I have built myself as a brand. So it's all a part of who I am, and that's how I need to start my day.
How did you get clarity for your vision?
It started with my own personal struggle of trying to lose weight. Alrick, you know the farmer Pat, don't it?
Yes.
Me did fluffy bad, don't it? Yeah, man. So my own vision came from I wanted to become the best version of myself. You understand me? And then from there, then your vision start changing, because when you start achieve certain goals that you set for yourself, then you have to start set higher goals, don't it? Mm-hmm. So first it was to lose the weight that I had on my body that I was uncomfortable with, and then after that, then everything became one.
What are some of the other things that would have triggered you to move into this lifestyle and for you to take better care of yourself?
Well, it has to do with two different sets of individuals. The first person was my husband. I'll never forget, in January 2015, we were at home watching TV in the night, and out of the blue, the man asked me when I give birth. You understand me? You know what that means? He might tell me that my belly is too big. You understand me? It was a joke that he was running, but I'm very insecure, and I've always been insecure about my tummy since giving birth. So that was just my wake-up call. The job I was in then contributed to my lifestyle, in terms of how my body looked, because I was in a bar business, you understand me? And everybody know what bar business is. It's typically going out, party, drinking. It's what that lifestyle was. So I didn't have the discipline to lose weight. I didn't have the discipline to eat right. I didn't have the discipline to work out. Yes, I was turning up at the boot camps, at the gym, trying to do the 5K road runs that were going on, but I didn't have the discipline to bring everything twofold. So, there were some girls on social media, because social media plays a big part in our life, in everything it is that we do, you understand me? And I was one of those persons that look up to some girls on social media who was offering coaching services in terms of getting your mindset right to lose that weight. But then those girls turn out to be mean girls, because when you can't afford the program, you understand me, a comment that one of the girls passed at the time was, I would never lose the weight without their help. So then that became my why. If you would stay like me, Alrick, don't tell me something I can't do something.
Right.
You get where I'm coming from? So for me, Carnival was coming up, so I'm going to show the mean girls that I can lose the weight, keep off the weight, and I'm going to look hotter than them, because them themselves that struggle also like myself. Right. We're all on the same journey. So that became my fuel, along with my husband's comment. But then I realized that I could not do the same things that I was doing over and over before. Something had to change. So I'm somebody that becomes very bored very easily. So doing the same gym routines over and over again will not push me or not challenge me. So I started researching the different training world. I started researching the CrossFit world, the Tabata world, the HIIT routines, bodybuilding, and start picking stuff from the different worlds to create a program for myself that will keep challenging me and keep pushing me to lose weight. I did that, and then I dropped my own personal weight. So at my heaviest, I was 210 pounds, moved from 210 pounds, you know, to 130 pounds in a short period of time, just in time for Carnival.
But then now, your vision got bigger.
My vision got bigger, and that's where social media came into play. So the fitness industry is a very, very big industry. You get where I'm coming from? And you have a lot of persons like myself who were struggling in terms of getting it right and getting those pounds off. So because I was, posting my own journey, the runs I was doing on the road, the hill training I was doing on the hill, the actual training in the gym, the unconventional type of training I was doing, I then started getting a following, People are like, oh my God, she's a woman and she's lifting that X amount of pounds tire. I'm on Mountain Spring running with a 45-pound plate strapped on my back with resistant band.
Help me to understand though, because I knew you, I know you for a couple of years, and you were big in the bar business, master mixologist, and then you make a 360, full career switch. How did you get your mind to that? Because you're such a good master at what you do. How do you make that switch? What
I went through a divorce. I went through a divorce, and I was going through a dirty, nasty battle with my child father at the time. So I wanted to distance myself from anything that has to do with any association with him. Anything that has to remind me about him, you get where I'm coming from. Anything, I even cut friends. Me don't want nothing at all to do with that element because it became so nasty. I didn't want to look like a failure to my daughter because I've already turned her world upside down. I mean, my daughter, even now, when it comes to summer, I can't send her away by herself on any summer vacation because as she said, and she reminded me over and over, the last time she went away by herself for summer, to family, she came back, her parents were separated. You get where I'm coming from? So I have to ensure that everything it is that I do going forward has to be successful. And, for her, it will create some sort of normalcy in her life. You get where I'm coming from? So my own personal journey of trying to lose weight became a new passion for me, something I fell in love with.
All right, we take a break. When we come back, we continue our conversation with Patrice J. White.
Alrick Show.
Welcome back to the show. What we've been sharing is that you can't move your life forward until there's radical acceptance. Patrice, radical acceptance of where you are on your journey and where you want to go. What does all of that mean for you in this present moment?
We have no control over the past. We only have control over the future and the direction in which we want to go. As a mother, when you have, as a mother, and when you go through a divorce, your kids have to come first. You understand?
People should know this.
Yeah, your
people
kids.
should know this because some people also use the kids as a weapon.
Yes.
And you have to be careful.
Divorce affects children. And the minute it gets nasty, the minute it gets ugly, that's the more damage it does to kids. I had my daughter look at me once and said to me that she doesn't want to get married because marriage is ending divorce, and she doesn't want kids because of the ugliness that was happening in her present situation. And when she said that to me, I realized that if I love my child, the love for my child must come before any situation it is that's happening. And that was when, I sat down with my ex-husband and we decided that if we both love this child, you understand me, that love for the child must come first before anything else. So like right now, we have a good relationship,
Great,
you understand me?
great.
And people are shocked because people know the level of, nastiness that the divorce was. You get where I'm coming from? And especially with her 16th birthday party that was last year, there is a picture of myself, her stepmother, and me in the picture dancing. And I remember someone called me and said to me, "Wow, how did you get there?" because she doesn't know how it is that she could get there.
How did you get there?
The love for my child. The love for my child supersedes anything else. And you asked a question earlier before we went on break. What are the mistakes that you have learned? My biggest mistake that now become a lesson for me is never to have any child or any child in a divorce situation lose out on years of their life because of the nastiness of a divorce. So it's a lesson that I learned that if I have kids going forward, you understand what I'm saying? If I should divorce again, that will never happen. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
And it's not like the divorce is because somebody's hanging on to something or anything like that. You get where I'm coming from? It's just a whole heap of other factors that were contributed in that. And, I just didn't want to just deal with anything that has to do with my ex-husband.
Right. But you never wanted for this to determine how you live the rest of your life.
Exactly. Because then that also will, that also started affecting the relationship with him and his child.
Did it affect your health?
It also affected my health. You get where I'm coming from? Because it affects your mental health. It affects your mental health in terms of what it is that people are going to think.
No, let's now talk about that. All right. So a lot of people, they don't understand that your mental health is very important and they have expectations, right? How did you go through that phase dealing with your mental health?
So for me, the best way and the way I dealt with it was, that's why I just cut everything. My ex-husband was doing stuff on social media. Persons close to him were doing stuff on social media. You get where I'm coming from? So people would come to me and say to me, Pat, have you seen this? I remember once I saw an article on social media. To the point where he has not seen his child in how long, etc. Where, that was just, the article was nothing but a fib. You get where I'm coming from? And, friends who I thought were friends, people who knew the situation, were all over the post, liking, commenting, and stuff like that. Now, anybody who is close to me and know the realness of the situation, you get where I'm coming from, they started defending me. And I'm like, guys, just stop. I started out first crying, then I became angry. But then my way of dealing with it is, hear what? If you respond, you're going to make a situation bigger than it is. I remember saying to my girlfriend, I'm not speaking about it because nobody knows what happens. You get where I'm coming from? My child comes first because of the type of job it is that I do. You understand me? Everybody knows me. I have to protect my child. Right. You get where I'm coming from? And I have to ensure that my mental health is healthy because I'll never be able to protect my child if I'm not healthy up here mentally.
True.
Because if I'm thinking about things with anger, then I'm just going to lash back at him. You understand me? Because clearly he's not thinking while he's saying things. So how I deal with things, even now in social media, you understand me? I try to keep a positive space around me. The persons who I follow are positive persons. If you're always posting something negative, I'm going to unfollow you. I've had friends that I've unfollowed because of the same thing. I myself suffer from clinical depression, which comes from my childhood days. I'm a product of teenage rape, era leader, stuff like that, etc. So I have that old battle fighting coming into adulthood because it's something that I never dealt with as a teenager. You understand me? So if I'm fighting that old battle of me trying to survive, I have no time to surround myself with negativity.
How these lessons of your past has now shaped the woman that you are?
The lessons of my past, I'm happy you brought it up. If I had to go back in the past to relive my life, I want to live it exactly the way it happened the first time. Because it is those lessons are what make me the person I am today. There are the challenges, the hardships, everything I go through is what make me the fighter I am today.
And prepare you to help so many other people.
And prepare me to help so many persons. The things I see on the school tours, I'm interacting with kids, females who are living in inner city right now, who are dealing with the era leader, or going through the sexual abuse and stuff like that. So for me, you understand me, when they see me and I'm sharing my story and I'm telling them that you can survive. Your past don't dictate
And not just
where
survive,
you go.
but live a fulfilling life.
Live a fulfilling life. If you don't have somebody like myself telling them this, who is going to tell them? Before the school tour started and the whole media campaign of we getting people to talk about mental health, did you hear anybody talking about it before?
Nobody wants to talk about
Nobody
mental
wants
health.
to talk about it. People want to push it underneath the mat.
Did you get any drawback when you wanted?
When I just started the mental health tour, I remember the first article that the Observer carried. 2 persons DM me, you don't want to talk about that, it's not good for your brand.
Oh.
You understand me? And one of them is somebody that I know very, very good. So I actually called the person and I said, why? Tell me why I don't want to talk about it. This has nothing at all to do with my brand. You understand what I'm saying? This has something to do with persons who suffer from mental illness and figure that the only way they can get out is by killing themselves. Because you have individuals like yourself telling them that they can't speak about it.
And so many people feel trapped in their situations because there's nobody there to listen to them.
Exactly. There's nobody else, there's nobody there to listen to them, or persons are saying to them, no man, nothing wrong with you. Or, oh, if you're depressed, look how life nice.
A lot of people also feel that because we're popular, we have so many people around us. There's so many times when you're alone. So many times you're lonely. You have nobody to go to.
Look here, we need help. You understand me? When I went through my divorce, you understand me? And my ex-husband moved on with somebody who's a friend of mine, who was a close friend of mine. Come on, it will affect any sane woman mentally. So when you have something like that, a friend of yours and your ex-husband, you as a woman start wondering, what?
We take a break. When we come back, we continue our conversation with Patrice, how she's now helping others to deal with their physical and mental health.
Alrick Show.
Welcome back to the show. We now continue our conversation with fitness guru and mental health advocate, Patrice J. White. Are you truly ready to talk about mental health?
I am. And I've been ready since last year. Have you not seen the conversations that started since last year, March?
What's the conversations like going, meeting people from all across Jamaica? Is mental health a grave problem as what?
It is. The illnesses that comes underneath the umbrella, they are serious. They are serious. You have persons who suffer from the bipolar illness, that persons don't know how to interact with them. Persons don't know how to deal with them and how to handle it. You have persons who suffer from depression. That depression thing is a killer, you know. And they're afraid of asking for help. Why? Me no want nobody know my business.
But Patrice, people are really, really watching you now and paying a lot of attention to you.
Yeah, but we now have the conversation happening.
Aren't you under pressure to maintain a certain life and to be a certain way for all the people that are watching? Are you under that pressure?
I don't believe I'm under pressure. Here why. My story has been an open book. I speak about the challenge I've had in the past. I speak about the challenge I have now. You understand me? And whatever challenges I have going forward, I speak about it. You get where I'm coming from?
So you're not even a superficial
So
life.
I'm not, no. Anything you see on social media where I am concerned, where you see, is what it is. I'm as authentic can be. And it's important for me because my daughter looks up to me as a role model. So I have to ensure that I'm always my authentic self, as self can be, because of the example that I'm leading for her. You understand me? Mental health and the illnesses that are under the umbrella, they're very close to me. And I want persons to know that it doesn't matter which illness it is that you have or you suffer from. You understand me? 1, you can survive. 2, there are persons out there that are willing to help you. 3, they should not be ashamed to say, hey, I'm not okay. I need help. You understand what I'm saying? And 4, they're not supposed to think that if they sit with a psychologist and speak, that psychologist is going to talk about them business. And that's the environment that we now live in.
Or they shouldn't feel as if they are mad.
And they shouldn't feel like they're mad. And that's how I start my tour. So when we go into these schools, because we're going to the schools and we're going to corporate companies. You understand me?
As you talk about the corporate companies, let me tell you, there are so many times I always tell people this, there are so many times you have a staff member at work and they are not performing as how you know them to be performing. Sometimes as managers, we come down so hard on them and we don't know what
we don't know the other factors.
We don't stop to ask the questions.
Exactly. I mean, then when you talk about career shift now, you have one career, you understand me? And that career, ended, or you have a successful business and it's no longer successful. Right. How do you move forward and chart something else for yourself? Find a new passion and create something else.
You're helping so many people to transform their lives. You have the physical aspect, and now, of course, now the mental aspect. Tell me about that the physical side from your studio.
So we have the studio, which is at Hillcrest Avenue, you understand? And I train a wide variety of clients. The regular 9-to-5 person, persons who are the pregnant persons, as you guys said, the celebrities. Right. I mean, there's no celebrity at my gym. Right. Once you step through the gate, everybody understands I'm the boss.
Right.
You get where I'm coming from? I train also the schoolers. I do train schoolers. It's just that we don't post them on social media. You get where I'm coming from? For me, health is very important. Health doesn't have to do with physical. It is physical, mental, and emotional. When all 3 are aligned, then you have what we call that dynamic life.
Perfect.
That's why the thing called dynamic lifestyle.
Perfect, perfect. And why is this tour so important? And why did you choose to go into the schools? Let's not talk about the corporate, but the schools. Why did you choose to go into the schools?
It was important for me to go into the schools because when I was going through my situation when I was in high school, you understand me? I didn't have that forum that I could have the conversation with.
And so many children commit suicide.
And so many children, exactly. We're seeing it over and over again. So let me give you my situation. When I was in high school and I was dealing with my own personal situation, you know how I reacted? You know how I deal with it? If you say, hey, I fight that my boss, I remember a fight took place at Spanish Town bus stop and she called me to her office. I had to remind Miss Martin that Miss,
don't want to fight.
Me no go Spanish Town bus stop no more and I terminate my take because Sherlock sent me a catch now. You get where I'm coming from? Right. And I'll never forget, I tell people daily that Mergrove changed my life because of that principle. She was so tired of seeing me visiting her office, where she sat me down one day and she said to me, Pat, what is going on?
Somebody finally asked
the right question. What is going on? And that was when I told her what was taking place. For her, she tried to help me as best as she could, but it's not like I could move in with her. You get where I'm coming from? But she gave me a very valuable bit of information. Pat, you have no control of your circumstance now, but you have control of the direction in which you want to go.
And now you're trying to save so many of the young girls and
Thank you. We visit the girls' homes also, We visit the girls' home also. Right now I've adopted Homestead Girls. You understand me? Girls' home as a part of where I'm physically and actively involved in. And when you go into the girls' home, I see so much of myself there.
Patrice, there's so much to be done.
So much to be done.
So many lives to be changed.
To be changed and to save. Don't leave out that and to save.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me,
I
Alrick.
appreciate it.
All
right. So I am looking forward. I will be following you. Right. I want to hear the stories, and I hope to be on one of these stories. I need to go on one of these.
I definitely would love to have you come in and
one
talk
of
to
these
these kids.
Yeah, man,
I'd love
thank
to
you.
have you, Alrick.
So all the best on the physical side and the mental side.
And the emotional
and the
side.
emotional side. The dynamic lifestyle.
The dynamic, that perfect dynamic life.
All right, we want to thank Patrice J. White so much for sharing with us today on The Alrick Show. The Alrick Show will be back next week.
Alrick Show.